Sad news. Bing Crosby died these days. Even as playing golf close to Madrid, Spain, he was 73. He collapsed at the route, rushed to the health facility, said useless on arrival. Crosby almost died last year when he fell off a degree at the same time as taping a television software. He recovered and stated his best trouble was that he might not be able to play golf anymore. Bing Crosby leaves behind his widow, Catherine, 7 youngsters and 12 grandchildren. Celebrated for his easy, velvety voice, magnetic aura, and lasting legacy in tune and movie, Crosby's profession spanned many years, rising to reputation during Hollywood's golden age, shaping the material of popular way of life and the amusement enterprise. His distinct baritone voice catapulted him to come to be one of the best-selling recording artists of all time. With undying hits like White Christmas and Swinging on a Star, in comes him. Crosby's appeal and talent shone brightly in beloved classics along with Going My Way and The Bells of St. Mary's roles that showcase his effortless versatility as each an actor and singer. Yet, in the back of the intense lighting fixtures and accolades, Crosby's life painted a much darker picture. While he regarded to live the American dream, his private global turned into rife with turmoil, especially in his strained relationships together with his children from his first marriage to Dixie Lee. After Crosby died in 1907, the facade of an appropriate-owned family was shattered, while his son Gary exposed unsettling truths about the mythical star. This revelation for all time altered how the sector saw the person at the back of the track. Do you know why Bing Crosby's name counted in the maximum evil actors of Hollywood's golden age? If now not, then be part of us in this video as we unveil the darker secrets and techniques of Bing Crosby's life. Make sure to look at till the end. Bing Crosby, born Harry Lelis Crosby, Jr., wasn't constantly the easy crooner. His nickname Bing got here no longer from a playful cops and robbers recreation, as he favored to say, however, from a neighbor teasingly calling him Bingo from Bingville, stimulated with the aid of a local newspaper. Even as an infant, Crosby's lifestyles hinted at the drama that could comply with. At just 6, he discovered a picture that sparked his love for track, in the long run made him to desert law faculty for the uncertain world of showbiz. By the mid-1920s, he found early fulfillment with the Rhythm Boys, his jazz styling so specific they stimulated imitators like Dean Martin. But Crosby's upward push to repute wasn't without challenges. A bout of laryngitis in the 30s strained his voice, and while docs determined a vocal cord note, they urged him to relaxation. Crosby overlooked them, pushing his voice to the threshold, whilst indulging his love for alcohol, which worsened his circumstance. By the mid-30s, his excessive notes were gone, forcing him to pivot to slower ballads. Surprisingly, this shift made him a legend. His new style resonated deeply, earning him the name Voice of the Nation. Yet behind the fame lay a tale of resilience, reinvention, and the charge of chasing stardom. In 1930, Bing Crosby married actress Dixie Lee, but their romance hit a rocky start. Just 6 months later, Dixie filed for divorce, claiming they couldn't be glad collectively. However, she quickly regretted her choice and reconciled with Bing after confiding in a chum who helped convey them back collectively. Dixie gave up her movie career to attention on their family. However, whilst Bing thrived in his work, she struggled with loneliness. Turning to alcohol for comfort, her dependency spiraled, leaving a lasting impact on their 4 sons. Gary, Philip, Dennis, and Lindsay, who witnessed her struggles firsthand. Daughter Mary later defined how Dixie's drinking left emotional scars, with memories of her passing out in front of the youngsters. In 1943, any other tragedy struck whilst a hearth destroyed their family home in Toluca Lake, sparked through a short circuit while dismantling their Christmas tree. The blaze claimed cherished possessions consisting of Bing's trophies and musical recordings, leaving the own family devastated. Though Bing and Dixie shared moments of affection, their lifestyles collectively changed into marked by ache, unhappiness, addiction, and heartbreaking loss, proving that even the brightest stars confronted deep struggles. Bing Crosby's profession was nothing short of mythical, leaving behind an amazing legacy of over 200 songs. Yet no matter his musical achievements, one song overshadowed all of them: White Christmas. For many years it held the name of the excellent-selling single of all time, immortalized in the Guinness Book of World Records. However, a few argue that this iconic song did as much damage as desirable to Crosby's legacy. Record manufacturer Ken Barnes defined the conundrum. History recollects Crosby no longer as a trailblazer, but as the perennial voice of Christmas, the singer who reappears each year to croon White Christmas. But Crosby himself saw matters in another way. When Barbara Walters requested him in a 1977 interview if he ever grew bored with his maximum famous hit, his reaction changed into each candid and heartwarming, "No, I ought to in no way be sick of it. I just worry that human beings might be." Behind the festive cheer he delivered to tens of millions, Crosby's private existence became much less harmonious. While he exuded appeal on level, he struggled as a father. His relentless paintings timetable, filming up to 4 films a month, he changed into frequently absent from his 4 sons' lives. He dispatched them to boarding colleges. However, his intentions have been rooted in fear. Crosby dreaded the idea of his sons becoming entitled Hollywood children, a way of life he loathed. Yet his overbearing concerns created a rift, leaving his children feeling more abandoned than included. Crosby's family struggles prolonged to his marriage with Dixie Lee, which turned into fraught with difficulties. Though he once in a while considered divorce, he chose to stay unswerving to her. This loyalty, but could not guard him from heartbreak. In January 1945, Dixie collapsed from what became, to start with, defined as a respiratory contamination. But whispers inside the press cautioned a darker reality, an unintended overdose of sound-asleep pills. Dixie's health persevered to say no, shadowed by way of years of loneliness, melancholy, and heavy ingesting. At just 40, she acquired a devastating diagnosis: ovarian mouse cancer. Tragically, her doctors chose to maintain the terminal prognosis from her, hoping to spare her extra ache. Crosby went at the side of the charade, even flying to Paris for a movie venture to preserve normalcy. It turned into a preference he might come to regret deeply. When Dixie exceeded away, Crosby wasn't there to hold her hand in her final moments. Her death at this kind of younger age left the own family shattered. At the funeral, grief enveloped Crosby, and the chaotic scene brought to the heartbreak. Photographers swarmed the solemn event, turning it into what his son Gary described as a circus. The lack of Dixie driven Crosby right into a shell. He refused to speak publicly about his ache, burying his emotions below a stoic facade. Behind the scenes, the person who brought pleasure to thousands and thousands carried a heavy burden of sorrow. A reminder that even the brightest stars often battle the darkest shadows. In the past due 1940s, while Dixie Lee spiraled into alcoholism, Bing Crosby observed solace someplace else. Significantly, in the palms of actress Joan Caulfield. This affair remained secret for years, most effective coming to light after Crosby's dying. Patricia Neal, who herself had been a mistress, revealed the affair in her autobiography, As I Am. Neal described how Caulfield, infatuated with the well-known singer, confided her desire to marry Crosby. Neal, reflecting on her very own revel, and said, "We had been in the same boat in greater ways than one." But the gossip did not prevent their 2 sisters, Violet and Mary Barca, have become beginner detectives, trailing Crosby's each circulated. They meticulously recorded their observations, uncovering the fact approximately Crosby's secret conferences with Caulfield. Even Crosby's sister Betty verified the affair, including to the scandal. Despite his deep affection for Caulfield, Crosby struggled along with his Catholic values, torn among his love for her and his obligation to his spouse, Dixie. Though he considered leaving her, Crosby stayed by her side, while her personal struggles weighed closely on their marriage. After her dying, Crosby embraced his newfound bachelor repute, dating famous ladies like Pat Sheehan, Grace Kelly, and Inger Stevens. But it was actress Kathryn Grant who sooner or later won his coronary heart. This 2D marriage, did now not come without its headaches. Crosby's new circle of relatives came with its personal set of challenges. He welcomed 3 greater youngsters. However, his first batch of children felt neglected.